Syrian Army directs severe blows to terrorists in several areas. Thousands of Turks protest against Erdogan's failing internal and external policies. Rouhani says easing sanctions constitute a golden opportunity for solving Iran's internal problems. Good afternoon, this is news in English from the Syrian Army television in Damascus. A military source said that Syrian Army units have inflicted heavy losses among members of an armed terrorist group in various villages and towns in Aleppo countryside with their vehicles loaded with arms and ammunition. The source added that a unit of the army repelled a terrorist armed group that were trying to attack Al-Kindi hospital and eliminated all of its members. Moreover, members of an armed terrorist group were eliminated along the road connecting Khan al-Asal with Al-Atalib, with their vehicles loaded with arms and ammunition were destroyed. In Aleppo city, units of the armed forces clashed with terrorists in Salahuddin, Al-Zabdiya, Bustan al-Qasr and Al-Khabiya market in the old city, killing scores of terrorists and destroying their arms and ammunition. Syrian Army units killed all members of an armed terrorist group to the west of the city of Nabk and progressed in the area surrounding Rima farms. An official source said that the army units dismantled scores of explosive devices weighing between 15 to 50 kilograms planted by terrorists in the streets and citizen houses in the western neighborhood of Nabk city, while other army units clashed with terrorists in Malula city and the area surrounding it, killing and injuring scores of them. In the eastern Ghouta, military units stormed terrorist dens and gatherings in Dilbi town and al-Shomariya, al-Shomariya, killing many of them. In Deir Salman farms, the army units destroyed a terrorist den and killed all terrorists inside them. Meanwhile, the army units destroyed a terrorist cache along with weapons and ammunition inside it in Ain Tarma, in addition to killing many terrorists. In the same context, a military source pointed out that a unit of the Syrian Arab Army clashed with an armed terrorist group near Harasta highway, killing 2 of its members. Meanwhile, another unit of the Syrian Arab Army chased armed terrorist groups in Jobar and Zamalka neighborhoods towards the southern highway, eliminating most of its members. In the southern countryside, the Syrian Arab Army units destroyed a terrorist gathering with arms and ammunition inside. In Yelda town, the army units eliminated terrorists and injured others, as army units killed in Daraya town and injured terrorists. On the other hand, the Syrian Arab Army units continued operations in Al-Qabun and Barzi neighborhoods, eliminating several terrorists in Barzi farms. Syrian Army units have imposed full control over the strategic series of al-Shomariya mountains in Homs's eastern countryside that were used by the terrorist groups as centers to carry out their attacks and as a road to secure supplies to Al-Qalamun region. Moreover, army units have cut off the sandy road that was used by the terrorists, securing the villages of Ojib al-Jarrah, Maqsa al-Hassan and al-Mas'udiyya. Terrorist Maher Jihad Taqlous confessed to committing crimes upon orders and instructions received from an officer in the Saudi intelligence, including attacks on government establishments and abducting civilians for money. In confessions broadcast by Syrian television, Taqlous said that he is originally from At-Tel in Damascus countryside, and that during the 6 years he worked at Saudi Arabia, he came to know Brigadier Muhammad al-Ahwash from the Saudi intelligence, who recruited him in exchange for a monthly salary. Taqlous said when a group of terrorists decided to attack the political security department in At-Tel, Taqlous was instructed to set up a barricade to prevent reinforcement from arriving at the site of the terrorist attack. He also confessed to taking part in several sabotage and terrorist attacks against Syrian people and army. Ignoring his country's support for terrorist groups in Syria, British Foreign Secretary William Hague has warned that militant extremists fighting in Syria could pose a threat to Europe. Hague expressed concern that growing extremism would create ungoverned space in the heart of the Middle East, adding that Syria's neighbors would be in the front line of such a catastrophic threat. He referred that it would pose a threat and a serious potential threat to security in other parts of the world, including in Europe. Britain has played a major role in supporting the armed terrorist groups by arming and training militants fighting against Syrian people and the government. Iranian President Hassan Rouhani has asserted that Tehran has played an effective role to curb a new war on the region and Syria. Rouhani was speaking at the ceremonies of the national festivity of the students at Shahid Bashati University. Rouhani was speaking. Rouhani added that the threats by the American and other Western countries of attacking Syria were met with vehement condemnation from the majority of the world's countries, on the top of which Iran and Russia, that asserted that resorting to force to solve the crisis in Syria would result in destabilizing the whole region. The Syrian University Team Titans has been honored today in a recognition ceremony in Damascus University, which was attended by ministers of higher education and communication in addition to other officials.
In order to encourage the Syrian students to use information technology in their practical life and improve their skills against future challenges, the Syrian University Team Titans has been honored today at College of Law in Damascus University.
وزارة التعليم العالي تمتلك اتفاق مع الجمعية العلمية السورية للمعلوماتية.
Ministry of Higher Education signed an agreement with the Informatics Assembly to start programming competitions, and those students won in the competition locally, and then they participated in Regional 1, and they also won, as they are looking forward to win internationally.
This is the Arab Collegiate Programming Contest. It's a contest for university students. Universities from 12 Arab countries participate in this contest, and we achieved the 4th place at this contest, winning gold medals.
Despite of current crisis in Syria, Syrian students and their families are determined to achieve their goals in life and rebuild the Syrian education and society.
The Russian National Committee for Combating Terrorism said that 4 gunmen were killed in a special operation carried out by the Russian security forces to the north of the Russian Caucasus area. In a statement, the committee said that 4 gunmen were responsible for attacks against officials and were involved in financial blackmail of some businessmen. Head of the National Security Committee at the Iranian Shura Council, Alauddin Projordi, said that easing the sanctions imposed on his country would give a golden opportunity to deal with many internal problems before the beginning of the forthcoming round of nuclear negotiations. In a statement, Projordi said that the great development realized in the Iranian nuclear file was achieved thanks to the wisdom and foresight of the leader of the Islamic Revolution. In Turkey, security forces have detained 6 demonstrators from the Turkish Union of the Youth Party on charges of hanging banners on government buildings and in the streets of the province of Tekirdağ that ridicule Turkish Prime Minister Recep Tayyip Erdogan, who is paying a visit to the province. In a relevant context and against the backdrop of killing of 2 persons in clashes that erupted after destroying graveyards of Kurdish fighters in Yokushkova, southwestern of Turkey, 2,000 Kurdish from all the opposing parties took to the streets to denounce the insult made by Erdogan's government against symbols of the Kurdish resistance, which activists think it would trigger conflict between the Turkish government and the Kurds. With this, we come to the end of our news for today. For more details, you can visit our website www.syriaonline.sy. Our economic news and the latest in the world of finance after the break.